Chosen one, listen closely. Today is not just any day. This is the day your supernatural supply arrives. God has been working behind the scenes, moving in ways your eyes cannot yet see. You may have been waiting, struggling, praying, and wondering if breakthrough would ever come, but hear me now. Your supply is already on its way, and it is more powerful than you can imagine. You may be thinking, is this really for me? Yes, it is. God does not delay his blessings for the wrong reasons. Sometimes, delays are his way of preparing you to fully receive what he has for you. Today, the wait is over. Chosen one, the provision, favor, and divine support that you have been crying out for is arriving. Open your heart and receive it because God is with you. Some of you are feeling hopeless, tired, and on the brink of giving up. I want you to know that your prayers have not been ignored. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, and every silent cry has been heard by the one who holds the universe in his hands. He has been orchestrating a supernatural supply that will meet every need spiritually, emotionally, and even materially. You might be wondering, how will I know it's coming? You'll see subtle signs first, doors opening where there were walls, opportunities appearing out of nowhere, and a renewed sense of hope. But the key is to recognize it and step into it with faith. Do not ignore the whispers, nudges, or moments of divine guidance. They are your instructions for walking into God's provision. Chosen one, this is a moment to focus, to declare, and to prepare yourself. God's supply is not random, it is intentional. It is designed specifically for you. So as you watch this message to the very end, I want you to get ready to receive. Your life is about to change in ways that defy human understanding. Remember, you are not alone. God is with you. His presence surrounds you, protecting you, and ensuring that what belongs to you by divine decree will find its way to you. The universe may seem chaotic, but God's timing is perfect, and your supernatural supply is arriving exactly when it should. Chosen one, I know you have been through battles that no one else can see. You've carried burdens quietly, smiled through the pain, and kept pushing when everything inside you wanted to stop. There are moments you've asked God, why me? Why this? And it may have felt like silence was your only answer. But silence does not mean absence. God has been closer than ever, watching, strengthening, and preparing you for this very season. The struggle has been real. For some of you, it's been financial storms, debts, bills, or doors that just wouldn't open. For others, it has been emotional battles, loneliness, heartbreak, or the weight of constant disappointment. And for some, it has been spiritual warfare, attacks against your mind, your faith, and even your purpose. These trials have been heavy, but they did not break you. You're still here, and that is proof of your resilience and God's hand over your life. You may have felt forgotten. Maybe you've looked around and seen others advancing while you remain stuck in the same place. You've wondered why your prayers take so long to manifest. But chosen one, the delay was never denial. God was shaping your faith, building your endurance, and setting up circumstances that you couldn't yet understand. What felt like waiting was actually preparation for what's coming next. It's okay to admit you felt weary. Even the strongest warriors get tired. Even the chosen ones cry when the pressure becomes too much. God does not expect you to carry everything on your own. That's why he reminds you in this moment, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Like your weakness is not a curse, it's an entry point for his power to show up in your life. Chosen one, remember this. Your struggle is a sign that you carry something valuable. If you were not a threat to the enemy, the attacks wouldn't be this strong. The reason you've been targeted so heavily is because of the destiny on your life. You've survived what others would have surrendered to, and that survival is evidence of God's hand over you. You may have scars, but those scars are proof that you made it through. So don't despise the struggle. Don't look at it as wasted time. Instead, see it as proof that you are being positioned. God doesn't allow pain without purpose. The same tears that fell in sorrow are about to water seeds of joy. The nights you thought were endless are about to give way to a sunrise. This is why you had to go through it, because your story will become the testimony that helps others believe. Chosen one, let's pause and understand what this supernatural supply really means. When I say supply, I'm not just talking about money. Although financial provision is part of it, God's supply goes far beyond that. It is strength when you're weak, wisdom when you're confused, peace in the middle of chaos, and favor that opens doors you could never push open on your own. It is heaven stepping into your situation and meeting needs in ways no human could. Think back to the wilderness where Israel wandered for 40 years. There were no farms, no markets, no restaurants, yet they never starved. Why? Because every morning manna appeared like dew on the ground. That's supernatural supply. It didn't come from their own work or their own ability. It came straight from God's hand. In the same way, God is sending provision into your life, and it may arrive in unexpected forms. Another example is Elijah by the brook during a famine. When everything around him was dry, God sent ravens, yes, birds, to deliver him food daily. That is what supernatural supply looks like. God using even the most unlikely channels to sustain you. When the world says there is no way, God says, "Watch me make one, and chosen one." He is about to do the same for you. Jesus feeding the 5,000 with just 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Another clear sign of God's supply. What looks small in your hands multiplies in His. This is why you must never despise small beginnings or limited resources. When surrendered to God, they become more than enough. Supernatural supply is not bound by logic, math, or natural laws. It overflows because it originates from heaven itself. But here's the beautiful truth. Supernatural supply is not just about meeting needs, it's about purpose. God supplies because He knows you have a mission. He strengthens you so you can keep walking. He provides peace so you can remain focused. He multiplies resources so you can bless others. Every gift, every breakthrough, every open door has a divine assignment attached to it. It is not random. It is aligned with your destiny. So, chosen one, understand this. When you receive God's supply, you're not just receiving for survival. You're receiving for impact. You're receiving so you can walk boldly into the future He designed for you. And no matter how impossible your situation looks, His supply is enough. It may not look the way you expect, but it will arrive exactly how and when you need it most. This is the God you serve, the God of supernatural supply. Chosen one of the biggest questions you may have is, how will I know when God's supernatural supply has arrived in my life? Sometimes the supply is obvious, like a breakthrough job, financial increase, or miraculous healing. Other times it comes quietly in ways that are easy to overlook. That's why you must stay spiritually alert. God often sends signs ahead of the full manifestation, and if you recognize them, you can step into your blessing with confidence. The first sign is peace in the middle of the storm. Think about it. When chaos is swirling around you, and yet you feel a stillness in your soul, that is not ordinary. That peace is God's confirmation that He is with you, and that provision is already in motion. The enemy thrives on confusion and anxiety, but when peace enters, it means the atmosphere has shifted. That's a sure sign your supernatural supply is close. The second sign is unexpected help or resources. You might meet someone who offers exactly what you need without you asking, or opportunities come knocking at your door that you didn't chase. These are not coincidences, they are divine setups. Remember, Elijah didn't expect ravens to feed him, but they showed up daily. In the same way, God will send people, ideas, or resources into your path to sustain you when you least expect it. Another powerful sign is when closed doors suddenly swing open. Maybe you've been applying for opportunities and nothing seemed to move. Then suddenly the phone rings, the email comes, or the connection happens. That's God shifting things in your favor. Closed doors aren't always rejection, they are redirection. But when the right one opens at the right time, that's not luck, chosen one. That's supernatural supply arriving at your doorstep. You'll also notice strength returning when you thought you had none left. Maybe you were burned out, exhausted, or ready to quit. Then suddenly something rises within you, a fresh wave of courage, hope, and determination. That is not just motivation, that is divine supply. God is renewing your strength so you can carry what He's about to give you. Remember the scripture, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." Lastly, you may sense a shift in your spirit, an inner knowing that things are about to change. It's that moment when your heart feels lighter, and you just know God is doing something, even before it shows in the natural. Chosen one, that inner witness is the Holy Spirit signaling that your supply is already here. Trust it, lean into it, and walk forward boldly. Chosen one, now that you understand what supernatural supply is and how to recognize its signs, the next question is this: how do you actually receive it and walk in it? Many people miss out because they doubt, hesitate, or fail to act when God moves. Remember, God's supply doesn't fall into your lap without purpose. You must position yourself to receive and then walk boldly in what has been given. The first step is to stay in faith and avoid doubt. Faith is the bridge between God's promise and your reality. Doubt is the thief that tries to block that bridge. When you believe even when circumstances scream the opposite, you open the door for God's supply to manifest. Think of Abraham, who believed God's promise of a son even when his body was old and Sarah's womb was barren. Faith brought the promise into reality. Chosen one, your faith will do the same. The second step is to speak words of agreement with God's promises. Your tongue carries creative power. When you speak fear, you attract fear. When you speak faith, you release blessings into motion. This is why you must declare things like, "My supply has arrived," or "God is with me and I will not lack." These declarations Align your spirit with heaven's will, and heaven responds to faith-filled words. Next, be sensitive to divine instructions and opportunities. Sometimes the supply is already near, but it requires obedience. Remember the widow who was asked to pour her little oil into jars? The miracle only came because she obeyed. If she had hesitated, she would have missed her overflow. In the same way, God may whisper simple instructions to you. Call someone, apply again, move forward, let go. Your obedience unlocks the supernatural flow. Another powerful key is gratitude and praise. Gratitude prepares the heart for more. When you thank God for what you already have, you create space for Him to release more into your life. Praise, even in hardship, shifts the atmosphere around you. It tells the enemy that you are unshaken, and it tells heaven that you trust the giver more than the gift. Praise isn't just a song, it's a weapon, and it multiplies supply. Finally, you must walk in boldness. Too often, people receive God's supply but shrink back in fear. Don't hide what He gives you, use it, share it, and let it shine. If He gives you wisdom, speak it. If He gives you resources, sow and build with it. If He gives you peace, carry it into places of chaos. Walking in supernatural supply means living as a vessel, not a reservoir. You were blessed to be a blessing. Chosen one, now that you've heard this message, I need you to pause and let it sink in. Your supernatural supply has already been released. This isn't just a promise for the future, it is a reality that is unfolding right now. Even if you don't see it yet with your eyes, you must believe it with your heart. God is not a man that He should lie. If He said He would provide, then your supply is guaranteed. The time to walk in it is now. I want you to remember this: you are not abandoned, you are not overlooked. God has been with you from the very beginning, and He is still with you now. His presence is your greatest supply. Money can run out, people can walk away, opportunities can fade, but God's presence will never leave you. As long as He is with you, you will never truly lack anything. That's why you can face the days ahead with boldness and peace. Chosen one, this is your moment to make a declaration. There is power in agreeing with heaven. Speak it out loud. My supply has arrived. God is with me. Say it until it becomes part of your spirit. Write it down in the comments as a public declaration of faith. When you type those words, you are not only claiming your supply, you are stepping into alignment with divine truth. Heaven responds when you boldly declare your faith. I also want you to stay connected to this message and community. You are not walking this journey alone. There are other chosen ones just like you who are also receiving, learning, and rising. When you like, share, and subscribe, you're not just supporting this channel, you're spreading light to others who desperately need it. You're helping another weary heart hear the same reminder you just received, that God is with them too. Before we close, let me remind you of one last thing. What you receive is not only for you. Yes, God supplies because He loves you, but He also supplies because He wants to use you as a vessel. When you are blessed, bless others. When you are strengthened, lift someone else. When you overflow, pour into others. This is how you walk fully in the supernatural supply. You allow it to flow through you, not just to you. So chosen one, rise today with courage. Rise knowing you are equipped, covered, and provided for. Rise knowing that what you've prayed for is already on its way. As you step into this new season, remember, you are chosen, you are supplied, and you are never alone. God is with you, and your life will be the living testimony of His supernatural supply.